Alright, guys, it is time now to get into the Wednesday night or the midweek wrestling war. That's what I'm calling it from now on because it's no longer the Wednesday.
It's not a war, so you just gotta say the midweek of wrestling. I guess you could just call it.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I reimagined this whole logo and thumbnail. War is still in there. Get it over it. Okay? That war they ain't changed. I already changed the Wednesday night part and put the midweek wrestling in there. I'm like, it's gonna be the war. Okay? Damn it. It's just like a Vince McMahon, damn it, you got that? And speaking of Vince McMahon, we got the Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard idea of NXT 2.0. It is revealed tonight, probably before we even get into. So we got that. Then because you got AEW Dynamite with Adam Cole making his debut, stuff like that. So, first off, how did you think of the new 2.0 arena?
Well, for one, I can tell you it was definitely Vince.
It was bright.
It looks very bright. It's like it's almost blinding to some of the people that ain't had that much brightness in that long. I mean, it looks good. The only thing that looks weird to me is the part of the stage. That one little tube looking thing.
Yeah.
That's the only part that looks weird to me. But other than that, everything, the stage looked cool.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It looks fine. Actually, it looks kind of cool. I mean, it's very, very fucking colorful. I mean, that's the production. You can see the money, but the way they have them, like, it kind of reminds me of the Tower Theater.
Dynamite.
Almost, but that Tower Theater that we have up here in Philly, where it's just like seats are all around everything, and the ring is right there in the middle type feel, but it's not going very high. So it's like no matter what seat you get, it's always going to be a good seat.
That's probably another thing that I kind of didn't like. I wish they would have had like a second set of stands.
Okay, like bleachers?
Yeah. Because it just looks weird how they stop right there. Like, like it don't look as full as they used to have it.
Honestly, it looked more full now than it did when you used to, because back then you had people standing up, you had the plexi gates and
but
the steel.
without the plexiglass, it would look more full. But I mean, I'm not, looking at the pictures and people was posting on Instagram with the whole arena, it looks smaller than what it did because of, obviously the stage taking up a lot of space and everything like that. But yeah. We'll see how it looks. It definitely doesn't look like that same performance center from WrestleMania 35 or 36 though.
No, it don't. I'm like, thank God.
And to think they could have did that whole arena for 36, and they only did like a small little.
It's like how did I try not think of that? But I don't know. But that's the new thing, and we have LA Knight backstage talking about the new thing at NXT, and then this guy Braun Breaker with first of all it was 3 Ks. I'm about to say really Vince. But with 2 Ks, and he challenges LA Knight to a match, and I'm like, ain't that Rick Steiner's son?
Yep.
And he can't use Steiner, so okay. And I was just like, so this is how we're gonna do?
Because like how much they like to say he's a second generation.
Yeah.
And I guess they won't.
Well, Braun Breaker is taking on LA Knight in the opening matchup. And he is like getting the best of Knight, and he hits Knight with a military press and turns for a power slam and wins the matchup. I said, okay, this is where we're going for the whole night, because I knew it. As soon as that happened, I said they're going to put over all the new talent.
Yep.
Why would y'all beat LA Knight in the same night he has to have a fatal 4-way match for the championship?
I thought that meant he was winning later because that's how they usually do it. Somebody loses first.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
No, because he lost twice.
Yeah, there was no reason for him to lose twice.
I think he maybe come to the main roster because there's no reason while you lose twice in the same night if there's not something going on. So, yeah, so he wins the match. I was like, okay, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Then we get our next match, Imperium taking on Brooke Jensen and Josh Briggs. I'm like, oh my god, are we just tossing all this new showcase?
We had like eight new people.
Yo, it was just like, yo, let's bring up all your CAWs, man. Bring up all your CAWs so we can sit here and see what's going on with this one. This matchup is obviously there's two different styles going on here with Imperium and Brooke and Josh. Guys, it sounds like Drake and Josh, no, Brooke and Josh. Archer leaves him, hits a double underhook suplex for the win. Imperium wins, thank God.
That would surprise me. I definitely thought the new people were winning.
So did I. That's why I was like, thank God Imperium won. We're still not there yet because backstage we see Hit Row and talk about, the guys talk about how awesome B-Fab is. B-Fab says, look, B-Fab says for more than beautiful, she's more real than any other woman in NXT. So she gonna light up NXT 2.0. B-Fab says everybody knows she can spit, but the time for talk is over. So we got B-Fab taking on Katrina Cortez. Here's the thing. This was a squash match basically, and B-Fab hits a neck breaker and wins the matchup. Look, I know in my heart B-Fab can wrestle better than this, but it just seemed like she was just almost healing it up when people are liking Hit Row. Like, she was a big. She almost looked like Jade Cargill in there when she first came in. Remember that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that neck breaker, like me, was talking about, like if she sat on it like the Rude Awakening, opposed to just like, a regular neck breaker. I was like, she needs something for somebody her size. I think she's something more dominating than that. So, she needs some more matches under her belt. But after the match, she gets the microphone and says she thought people said she couldn't do this, and Cortez stuck her nose in the Kool-Aid, but she didn't know the flavor. And then here comes the Legado Fantasma with Elektra Lopez to shut her up. And Lopez says B-Fab obviously hasn't learned her lesson, so they can run it back. And this time she won't need a pipe to shut her little yap. B-Fab says she'd love to do it again, and she can do it right now. Lopez's game, but Santa Escobar stops her. So, I don't want them to give away that match too early, but they might.
It's Vince, they're going to have a non-finish.
Oh, that's so God. I'm not used to this stuff yet, neither.
At first I was like, okay, Vince is probably booking the show, but it looks different. But then there was something that happened later in the night where I was like, oh, it's definitely Vince's booking.
Okay, well, we'll get to it. Cameron Grimes, Odyssey Jones, John Gargano backstage, just like Dexter Loomis. I was like, I get it, because they're Chris Grooms and stuff like that. And then, let's see, in Austin Theory, Damian Priest shows up, and then, because,
Damian Priest literally said, I'm only here for the after party, only.
Is it for that? He's the party guy. I like that he showed up on there, but I was like, okay, cool. So I guess
literally didn't go to the wedding. He was like, "I'm not going to the wedding. I'm only here for the after party." I'm telling you.
The after party. I hope they recorded some of it being like a after party. Carmelo Hayes comes to the ring. He comes to the ring with this dude named Trick Williams. Who the hell is Trick Williams?
I don't know. Some new talent that they trying to. Obviously, they got like 30 people in the performance center. So,
he says this is NXT 2.0. Nobody will catch him off guard. He realizes that it's the numbers game, so he called his friend Trick, and he's going to be at his side 24/7. He said Trick's here for two reasons. He was born with the gift of gab and the gift of jab. If that ain't a Vince McMahon, I said, oh, this.
And he had forgot it too. He had forgot his line too.
He's always like that. Oh God. And then he said, and that's why his punchline sits so hard. I said, what? Like, what did Vince like actually turn to BET Soul School and saw like an old school video? And it's just like, yeah, Yeah, this is it. So,
he saw an old Dolomite movie.
He had to. He said he's Trick said he's proud of Carmelo. He's the golden child of NXT, but he got a bone to pick with him now. Trick said Hayes has scored every shot he ever took. So why is he all humble now? And he said so. He said it's hard to be so good and so humble. So then after Carmelo Hayes says, well, look, when I eat, Trick eat, blah, 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 something like that eat. So whatever the case may be. So he said, but don't worry, we going to change all that. As they're walking back, Duke Hudson comes out, I believe, and then kind of bumps him. And then Trick was like, no, this is what I'm talking about. Takes off his shirt, takes off his, Jackson 30th anniversary purple shield shirt, and goes and stomps Duke Hudson out with Carmelo Hayes, and then now they're heels.
They're all heels. I mean, technically, Carmelo Hayes was a good guy before this, but Duke Hudson was a heel before this. So, does that mean that they turn face, or do they just? Does that mean that they're still faces, or do they turn heel? Like, if you turn heel on a heel, does it count?
You know what? I don't know. Casey Catanzaro and Kane Carter says that Mandy Rose looks good. Take that mask off. Casey Catanzaro, Kane Carter take on JC Jane and Gigi Dolan. The match really doesn't go nowhere because somebody comes out and it's Mandy Rose, and she starts beating them down. Now it turns into a 6-man tag team match. Player. This
is when I knew Vince was in charge.
I said, yeah. This is a Vince McMahon thing to do. Now her hair is dark brown opposed to blonde. I think I like Mandy Rose better with the blonde hair, to be honest with you. But she hits the knee on Kane Carter, wins the matchup that way. So,
okay, you know what? I gotta pause you.
Go ahead.
I gotta pause you. I'm watching. I'm seeing this clip from the Emmys, and they got Cedric the Entertainer with all of his former girlfriends and wives from TV shows. I just think that's cool.
That is dope. He is hosting the Emmys tonight, right?
They got him and the girl from the Steve Harvey show.
Yeah.
They got him and his wife from Soul Man, and him and his wife now, Tina Arnold from his show now. I don't know. I just think that's cool. Anyways, my bad. I just had to mention that because I'm like, that's cool.
Well, right. It's cool. Cause
sorry.
I ain't gonna lie. I do miss the Soul Man.
I like I really like the other one. Sadie Bear, and I wish they do something like that.
Oh, hey, Sadie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lavita. Hey, Honey Bun. So after Indy Hartwell is talking to bridesmaids, and Candice LeRae takes the hat off and tells Indy she looks amazing, as they're all very excited. William Regal announces because Colorado won't be competing in the Fatal 4-Way because he got mediocre jumped by Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne. I was like, stop the press, because I really thought they was going to say LA Knight is injured. I really thought they was going to talk to Colorado was out. I thought he was going to take out Ciampa. It was just going to be Pete Dunne and 3 new guys. This is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
That's what I thought too.
And then I was just like, oh God, don't do this, Vince. Don't. And so now replacing him is newcomer Von Wagner.
Instantly, I'm like, oh, he's winning the belt.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they are just throwing all these new guys out, and it's terrible. Ridge Holland takes on Drake Maverick. The less I say about this, the better. Because Ridge Holland just destroys Drake Maverick. He should even been in the ring with him. But I was like, okay, what the fuck? Tommaso Ciampa was interviewed backstage, and he talks about it's been 908 days since he's held Goldie, and it's time he gets his redemption. Diamond Mine's in the ring, and they have added a new female member to there, along with the Creed brothers. And Michael Bivens once again is gold, but I don't know how I feel about Diamond. First of all, chick is solid. Okay, she hasn't had a carb since 2005. Michael Bivens said. So now we got the Creed brothers taking on Dan Jarman and Trevor Shelley. I was like, what the fuck is all these new people?
Yep. Performance center crazy.
I know I'm about to say, bro.
Did you see that picture I sent?
Can you feel the picture?
No, there was the Robert dude, the Robert guy. He was like, "I'm fighting for my life."
Oh yeah,
That's probably how they are for real.
That's how they are, man. Because they are scraping the bottom like an ice cream day. Creed brothers win, and then that's what Dynamite gets in there, and then and
Kushida comes out.
Yeah, and Kushida comes out, and he wants Roderick Strong title, next week. Vacant NXT championship.
So Roderick is winning the title next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm here. For the vacant NXT championship, Pete Dunne versus LA Knight versus Tommaso Ciampa versus Von Wagner. He was out of place this whole match. I was like, this. If y'all was gonna do all new people, y'all should have kept Kyle O'Reilly in the matchup. Y'all really should have just kept Kyle O'Reilly in the matchup. I understand what they were trying to do, it didn't work, and it was like every time Wagner got hot, the fans booed him because they don't know who this guy is. I mean, would you agree?
I agree. Even though everybody thought he was gonna win because they knew Vince is in charge now.
Yeah, and I'm just like, well, you start off bad. So, Ryder attacks Dunne and Ciampa with the forearms, but Pete Dunne jumps to the top rope, but Knight intercepts him with a suplex. Wagner hits Knight with a double underhook suplex for near fall. Ciampa runs in, knocks Wagner out, and connects with the fairy tale ending on Knight and wins the matchup. Tommaso Ciampa wins Goldie back.
See, I think there's going to be another suspicious injury vacancy happening because I'll be honest with you, I don't know, I don't understand Ciampa winning.
I don't either.
Because how you want to say, first of all, why would you take Kyle O'Reilly out and have Ciampa win? But
because
why would you take Kyle O'Reilly out and not have the new guy win? Is what
I think Ron Breakker is going to win that championship.
Well, yeah, but it's like you say we want guys under 30 that's big and are not old. Tommaso Ciampa is, for one, well over 30, looks old with his beard and all the gray in it, and he's not as big as you like your guys to be. So I thought Von Wagner was going to be that guy. Obviously, Brian Breaker is definitely winning the title, like soon.
Yeah, like next week soon.
Like it was like no, it's not the same. There's no point in even putting it on Ciampa, but I guess they wanted to.
Shit, like seriously, no bullshit. He could win this joint next week.
I seen people getting all excited, like, "Oh yeah, Ciampa gets the belt, so it's gonna be good." I'm like, they ain't better have that for long, like at all.
At all. They just wanted to make sure it was 1,000 days. Now it is time for the wedding. First NXT wedding. To me, this is the highlight of NXT this week. In the best part, because we get the guests are coming out. I like how it's different. You know, the wrestlers like the Grizzly Young Vets come out. MSK is coming out. Casey Cat Zero and Kaden Carter's all coming out.
Io
Shirai and Zoe Stark is all coming out. So Johnny Gargano is gold in this whole thing. So they're up there, they're getting ready for the vows. He said, make sure you got the rings. He said, also you got the rings? He said, we're in a ring cylinder. He said, no, do you got the rings? But then, all of a sudden, Kim Jarrell stands up and opens up his fucking blazer, and he has the rings in his blazer. I'm just like, okay, so they're doing this blazer guy, which I really don't like. The minister asks if there's anybody that believes they shouldn't be married. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Almost everybody raised their hand, but I like how Dexter Lumis just turns around, has the axe that he was throwing from the axe party in his jacket, and just showing everybody like, yeah, don't say that. So,
which I liked it, but also why are you there? Why is everybody there if they don't even agree with the wedding?
because they probably got threatened to do this. Indy Hartwell goes and says her vows, calls Loomis her cuddly little teddy bear, and when people called him a freak, she said, "Damn right he is. He's her freak." And she recounted, during those stories, he said, because of the time that, he snuck into her bedroom window, and then he covered the microphone, and then John's like, wait, what? That happened in our house? Well, were we in bed? Were we slick? Like, John Gargaro's reaction to that was great. And I like how Dexter just, slowly just covers, the microphone. And then,
real quick,
yeah.
What is up with Vince in this gay joke that they was trying to push over?
I think I missed. I didn't think I missed it. Refresh my memory.
Dexter Gaylord Loomis. It's his full name.
Oh yeah. I don't know that joke because the joke didn't go over.
It did not, but they kept saying it like Dexter Gaylord. Your middle name is like they just kept kind of pushing it.
Oh wow, no, I did not. That would definitely slip me by. She says she'll never lose a staring contest. He always keeps her safe. He gets her, and she loves him. Now, time for Dexter's vows, but he doesn't say anything. He just puts a thumbs up. And I thought that was cause they're building to it. He's going to say something. And the minister says, well, you got nothing to say? He says, well, you really think I spend the rest of your life with a man that got nothing to say? That he gets choked out. And then
that's none of your business, first of all.
It really isn't. So everybody was like, Johnny, say something. Johnny was like, no, I ain't doing this. Regal was like, no, please don't put me up there. Regal's face selling that was like, yo, please don't put me up there. And Beth Phoenix steps up. And I was like, you know what? This is good storytelling because if you listen to Beth Phoenix on commentary, she's been all Team Index since this thing been happening. She has been there. She says, I figured something like this was going to happen. So last night I got ordained to be a minister. So now she can officiate the wedding. And she said it's time to cut the chase. And this asshole, this random guy says up and says, wait a minute. Did somebody say Andre Chase? This is a Vince and a Bruce Pritchard thing. That is the only part of it I hate it. It'd be different if it was somebody. Remember, who's better than Canyon? No punch because the episode come out next week. But who's better than Canyon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we knew who Canyon was.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're trying to get this new guy over. So I say it's all these new people.
But bro, I would say I'm over it. Who did somebody say Andre Chase? Like nobody. No. Ashley Jones chokes him out. He sits him down. He gets a nice reaction. Beth says, "Andy, you take that should be a husband." She says, she does, and then she asks Loomis. He doesn't say anything at first, and Beth says she'll take that as a yes. And Loomis stops her and says, leans forward to the mic and says, "I do." And the CWC loses. They pop heavy for this joint. Austin Theory is all very excited about this joint. Beth announces that they're now husband and wife. They kiss, and that they basically they had the wedding without a hitch, and that was dope. And then Tommaso Ciampa is watching the wedding backstage, and then Braun Breaker comes up and grabs Ciampa on his win as he stares at his championship. So that is the first ever NXT 2.0. Oh God. They did not take their time on easing this shit on us at all.
Uh-uh.
And when I say that, I mean it's different. Like if you give us
and also we forgot Tony D'Angelo.
Tony D'Angelo. Oh, that's right. The Italian guy from Chicago. Tony D'Angelo. I'm like, what the fuck? You were right about Tony D'Angelo. See, here's what I think. Once again, I'm sitting there saying to myself, like, oh God. Why are we doing this? Like, why can't we ease into this? Like, he introduced all these new people that nobody cares about. It did not get over any more with the crowd than, opposed to until you build them up. The only thing, like, I love the wedding because it was it was familiar to me. And I didn't have a problem with the stage, but my God, you just had these random matches of all these new people. You're trying to shoehorn in stars. That's not how you do it. You have to give them a reason. You have to build them up. You have to give some character. The only thing I would say gave any kind of character involved with people that we knew was Carmelo Hayes.
Did you say Andre Chase?
Stop! Don't. You know what? That's on par with how you feel. Like, that's on par with that shit right there.
How you doing?
Andre Chase is terrible. Like I'm like that was a terrible way to introduce a character. This Italian Samboni from Chicago. I think that's a terrible way to introduce a character. Trick Williams, I was like, okay, I get what he's trying to do, but no, I'm not feeling him neither. I'm definitely not feeling the guy that's in the NXT Championship. He got no love whatsoever. It'd be different if he was one of the breakout stars, maybe. But why would some random guy start helping somebody who's getting jumped? And that wasn't even a bad enough beatdown for Colorado to not be in the match. Like, for all that, you could have just did Ridge Holland. For all that, you could have broke him and Pete Dunne up, break the whole fucking faction or team up, and have Ridge Holland win it. But he didn't.
Just like Stone Cold. You beat him up? Well, you go in. You do it.
Mm-hmm. Now it's time to move on to AEW Dynamite. It is Wednesday night, and you do know what that means. I ain't got no feedback from JR tonight. No problem.
Let's hope he...
Look,
Punk on commentary. That's a plus.
Hey, look, CM Punk was on commentary with them tonight. How'd you like CM Punk tonight?
I liked it.
Until guy showed up, but I'll get to that later.
Yeah, no, I like this insight. It was like giving more insight to what he would do, which I kind of liked. Like, I was surprised, even though he didn't come back to be a wrestler, he wasn't a commentator in wrestling. So.
Hey, Fox tried, but there was nothing in the world that they could do to get WWE to bring CM Punk back to their company. It wasn't gonna happen. So making his AEW in-ring debut, we got Adam Cole, baby, taking on Frankie Kazarian. I was like, okay, that's a pretty decent match.
I like the ring jacket, though, by the way.
I do. The match that was a pretty cool matchup. I thought, I think Kazarian was a nice, solid first person for Adam Cole to get in the ring with.
I think he was too, but I also think that Cole didn't need to use all of his moves.
Yeah, you know what? Because I was like, he did the Panama Sunrise, but then after he did the last shot, I was like, why not just win with the Panama Sunrise to help put the move back over? Especially since Britt Baker used it, now people understand why.
That used to be his original finisher, but then obviously they wasn't really doing power jobbers in NXT. So then when he started using it, that just became his signature, not his finisher. That used to be his finisher before NXT.
Yeah, so I'm saying if he just used it as a finisher, it could actually bring some more credibility back to at least to that form of the Destroyer, not the Dustin Rhodes version. So,
well, the Dustin Rhodes version is really a cold red, not really a Destroyer, unless he just messes up. But I feel like Dustin does it like a sunset flip type of, like a pinning thing, not a Destroyer.
Yeah. So after the match, Cole grabs microphone and says, "Who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby?" Hope is.
I think it's gonna be a new shirt because he said that on every show he's been on so far.
Who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? Yeah. I will get that shirt. I will get it.
I think that's his new catchphrase or something because he's said that every week since he's been on the show.
Yes. He said, God, what did he say? Oh, hope is a dangerous thing that the locker room hopes it can keep up with the elite. Guess what? It's not going to happen. I've only been here for a short time, and there are 3 guys who have really gotten under my skin. Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy. If they're so tough, how about next week's Rampage, the Grand Slam, the 3 of them against, the Super Click and Baby. So, We get the video package of the Lucha Bros, accepting the challenge for the Butcher and the Blade, and then we get Tony Schiavone backstage with Fuego del Sol with Sammy Guevara. We got his new car from his new paycheck, but then he wants to match with Miro this Friday. Who's gonna put his car on the line, which is stupid. And he said, if I don't beat Miro on Friday at Rampage, then he's gonna, put the car on the line. And Sam looked at him like, you're dumb. But anyway, MJF came to the ring with Warlord, and then he said, last week you were so sympathetic for crying Brian, but you should be sympathetic for me because right now I'm standing in the armpit of America known as New Jersey, on the cheap heat. He said, right now, I'm a religious man.
People say it's cheap heat, but he does a good job at it. He doesn't take the cheap way out of cheap heat. Pretty much, like you can say it's cheap heat, but he doesn't like just go into plain low hanging fruit cheap heat. So I like the way he does it.
He said, I don't have precaution with all the viewers at home. He says, I'm smarting up in the back, and some of my comments actually may have offended you, and guess what? I don't care. He said, but right now, as y'all know, I'm the salt of the earth, and I'm a religious man too. So as of right now, I had to have a conversation with the late Brian Pillman. So he looks up and talks. He said, Mr. Pillman, and he said, wait a minute. Then looks down at the ground, look at him in hell. He said, tell your son if he shows up in that awful place known as Queens, I'm going to massacre him. So MJF is interrupted by Flying Brian Jr.'s music, and MJF ordered Warlord to meet Pillman at the ramp, but then Pillman comes down, surprises MJF by just jumping from behind with the steel chair, and then Warlord tries to come at him, and then he gets that dumb, I run to you, I pull the ropes down, fall over type shit like that. So that's how it was. Pillman said, MJF, while you're waking up every morning, being fed by a silver spoon, I was fighting for my life. We're not the same. My upbringing was feral. On September 22nd, Arthur Ashe Stadium. You're not stepping in the ring with any man. You're stepping in the ring with the Pillman. Get Pillmanized. I know it's a good promo.
Thought it was a good promo, but I'm gonna need them to do something.
With who? Flying Brian in the Melon or MJF?
Flying Brian. I'm gonna need them to do something with him. Like, obviously, he's gaining more of a character, but I'm gonna need him to be in the future something other than just Pillman.
Do you want him to be like the loose cannon 2.0?
No, I don't want him to be anything like his dad.
Okay.
Like, I want to be him.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like people saying he should grow his hair out and put it in that same style like Pillman and come up with the cane and all that. And I'm just like, that'd be cool. Obviously, tribute to his father.
It's the mullet that's bothering me.
Well, not even that. Nothing bothers me. I want him to be Brian Pillman Jr., not just Brian Pillman 2.0.
Okay, fair enough. Up next is
just like Dominic. People be like, Dominic should wear a mask and Dominic should do all the stuff that Ray does. I'm like, nah, he should be Dominic, not Mysterio, 2.0.
You do got a good point there. And I don't want to see Dominic get no mask. Alex Martin versus backstage with Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. They accept the challenge. Dante Martin and Matt Sydal taking on FTR, Cashwell and Dax Harwood tag team matchup. Good matchup here, mostly because of Dante Martin showcasing him. I like when it's like every time in a Dante Martin tag match now, the partner will go down and he will go on these 1-on-2 tangents that just look so awesome. Because you get to see him flip around and outsmart FTR. It's like watching a Jackie Chan movie with wrestling. It's actually kind of cool. But because I'll be honest with you, I was not into Matt Sydal in this matchup. Even CM Punk was like, that kid is something else. So as Dr. Martin's getting the upper hand, he makes one mistake and gets caught into the big rig for the pin, which I still don't like the name of that finishing move.
You say you still do it, though?
I don't like it.
You don't like the big rig?
I like the name, but I like the move, the Shatter Machine, but I don't like the big rig.
Well, they named the big rig after it, obviously. Brody Lee.
But yeah, the Shatter Machine sounds so much better.
You're right.
The Murder Hawk monster, Lance Archer, and What's he called?
Suzuki.
No, his nickname, Murder Grandpa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Murder Suzuki backstage. Moxley had everything going for you in your favor in Cincinnati, but that's going to change in New York City at Arthur Ashe Stadium. You and Kiss are going to go find out what Strong Style is all about. Malachi Black made his haunting entrance, which is dope. And for some reason, Rosario Dawson was in the audience, and I was just like, okay, looking great, but she had a Cody Rhodes hoodie on, and he did not like that.
Big Show.
Yeah, I mean, I know why she's there. Obviously, because it would have been the same thing if Snoop was there. But I was just like, why did Snoop come back for the second season? Do you know?
Maybe they ain't pay him enough money.
Wow. I thought Snoop just had a camaraderie with everybody. I thought he was going to come back. Because I like his commentary.
Yeah, if they pay him the right money, then he'll do everything.
So, Rosario Dawson's out there, and then all of a sudden, Malachi Black is coming up to her, and then we see, oh my God, the big red suit, Cody Rhodes coming from the crowd.
First of all, what was you doing? Getting the hot dog? And you heard?
Yeah, but like,
what?
Why is he coming through the crowd? That's a Moxley thing, but why is he with a full suit coming through the crowd as Rosario Dawson just jumps on? Like, why is he coming from the back, or why is he coming from somewhere? He come from the good point. Yeah, I did get a hot dog. Let me get two with a t-shirt.
Yeah, let me get a hot dog. Wait a minute, it sounds like somebody get beat up. Let me go see who it is. Like what?
Exactly.
Also, I kind of didn't like Rosario Dawson, like
jumping on Malachi Black's back.
Jumping on his back and making him do the I can't get her off my back.
If you want some heel heat, I would have given it a black mask.
Exactly. Like, I'm just like, you mean tell me this dude who's undefeated and all that can't get Rosario Dawson off of his back?
That's why I was saying, now if they pay Snoop enough, right? I think Snoop would have came out there, been all gangster in his face, and then he could have took the black mask.
Or a move.
Or a move. I mean, maybe Rosario Dawson could have took it also, because she a tough lady, but I don't know. I'm going to say, if you want to get some heel heat, him giving her the black mask, but then, to make it look good, he can't really pull that move.
I'll be honest with you. I know he does his own stuff. What if Jackie Chan decides to, take a bump? He'll do it for real.
He would. I'm saying, but to take a black mask, though, I don't know if Rosario Dawson can get her hands up and make it look good at the same time, and he really can't pull it, but for so much, because you see how he pulled the last time against Dustin Rhodes, it looked terrible. But if you would do it,
so that's why I wouldn't give her a black mask. I would just give her a kick or something.
That man is lethal. He can't pull back none of them kicks.
Not a kick to the face, a kick to the gut, or something, or just push her down.
Yeah, I understand it was the whole Big Show thing, but I was like, but I'm not getting this at all. So
yeah, and of course Cody had to come from the crowd so everybody could see him on the way down.
Yeah. We have Dan Lambert in the ring with America's Top Team, so the Men of the Year, as Ethan Page challenged AEW to respond to the challenge, and Dan Lambert called AEW fans morons. Then Chris Jericho Judas begins to play, and hair comes out, and then basically, look, I didn't see too much of this segment. I just know that he challenged them to a tag team match.
It's actually a good segment.
Huh?
It's actually a good segment.
I didn't say I didn't watch because I didn't like it. I said I didn't watch the segment too much. I was probably busy.
Oh, no, it was a good segment. Pretty much, Dan Lambert was getting heat. Jericho was getting, this is the most Jericho 2000s promo I've probably ever seen.
Ever?
He made a song. He was Dan Lambert was turn that song off. Y'all only know the song because y'all read it off your iPhones. And then Jericho just because we don't know the song, so what did he say? I'm a fat boy or something like that. He said, you know what? I'll make it up right now. I'm a fat boy. Yeah. Then the crowd started chanting.
Oh, wow.
They made a full song out of it. But pretty much it was you don't want to see Hager because Hager is undefeated in the match. So that's why Hager was out there rather than Sammy or somebody.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, nah, he brought out Hager because Hager is undefeated in MMA action, and he's going against MMA stars, the ones that's in the ring. So it makes sense. But yeah, so that's how that came out.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, I mean, it probably was a pretty good thing, but I think the match was gonna be pretty good. But I think the Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky gonna win that match because they need something to do and something to get them over.
Jay to do to get over is not being in this group.
I feel you. Jay Cargill, my girl, taking on legit Layla Hirsch. I think this was Jay Cargill. I'm starting to see her develop it in the stuff. I still think that she needs help selling a little bit better. But other than that, I think she's from when she first came in the match with Red Velvet. I think she's really getting good. Mm-hmm. I think they can push her as a dominant heel. I like seeing her back on regular TV. So she hits the Grand Slam on Layla Hirsch and wins the matchup. So she's picking up wins. I didn't see what her necessarily record was, but yeah. So
she's undefeated.
Huh?
She's undefeated.
She's undefeated, but I'm saying, but like, what is that? 5-0? Is that 10-0? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's like 14, 15.
Oh, okay, damn. That's right, dark. Taz and Hook confronted CM Punk at the announce table, and then he said, "What did CM Punk say?" He said, "I know that they let the midgets in or something like that."
And trolls.
Yeah, yeah. And Taz said, "You trying to take my job?" So Punk got up, and all of a sudden, Powerhouse Hobbs comes in there, and just Steve Wilson from the back. But yo, my wife could not stop laughing at the whole '90s overall airbrush.
Oh yeah, that's what he always wear.
I know that. I was talking about something. She was like, "Who this?" You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Yo, it's hilarious," because I was about to say, "Yeah, he definitely about to step in a Jodeci video right now." But
I kind of liked how well, okay, it was weird because like when they were like in the thing, I was like, this is just me watching. I'm like, why is this curtain moving so hard right here? Like, it's really moving. Like, are you about to like? Is somebody about to like peek out or something? Uh-huh. And then obviously, it was where Hobbs was because he popped out. I was like, this curtain is moving. And if you go back and look at it, if y'all listening, you go back and look at it, you can literally see the curtain is like shaking really, really bad. Like somebody's like somebody fighting by the curtain or something. I'm like, what's going on?
Somebody probably caught up in it, Joe.
But that's where Hobbs was. Hobbs comes out and just destroys it.
So Hobbs comes and he gives him a choke slam on the announcer's table, and it didn't break. Is it wrong that the first thing I thought about when he chokes him, CM Punk on the announcer's table, is when Ryback pressed him to that table and he missed? I was like, yo, don't let Will House get...
Those are like impact tables. How impact tables used to be.
Yeah.
They're not the breakaway tables.
Look, I'm about to say, because, yo, don't curse out Will House like I get there Ryback. Because he got on Ryback's ass.
Well, yeah, because Ryback was just unsafety. Like, he injured a lot of people. But no, that table was like how Impact's table used to be, where they're not made to break.
Yeah. So,
but it wasn't like if it was like one of those regular like how WWE has the breakaway table, then I can understand. But no, those are like supposed to be the hard non-breakable tables. I'm surprised they even did a table bump on because, like I said, the table that they have is not made for breaking or not made for for that.
Yeah. Darby Allin is up next to take on the chairman Shawn Spears. Really? Because I was just like, all right, sure. Is it wrong that I still think that Ty Dillinger was better than Shawn Spears?
Yeah. I mean, no, it's not wrong. Sorry, it's not
wrong. Spears kept toying with Sting, giving him the finger and stuff. They take the steel steps and put it like right there in the middle of the ring. And so, he been throwing Darby on there and stepping himself on there. There's one point where Darby hits a kick on Spears outside the ring. He falls on the steps. He's like sitting there. And Darby Allin goes, runs between the ropes, throws his body through the ropes to Sean Spears, and he falls right backwards off the stairs. I was like, God, that looked like that hurt. So, after well, hold on. Then he goes back. Sean Spears tries to put the sharpshooter, or excuse me, the Scorpion Deathlock onto Darby Allin, and then he's looking for the C4 on the ring steps. Darby counters, and then hits a coffin, goes up to the top, hits a coffin drop to Sean Spears, wins the matchup. After the matchup, the Pinnacle comes down and starts fighting members of they start fighting them, and then they beat up Sting, and then they give Sting a spike pile driver. Sting and rubbed off his face paint, just like Sean Spears rubbed off Darby Allin's face paint during the matchup. JR, they stripped their mask away. I said, mask, but sure.
I'll get better. Don't worry about it.
No. Tony Schiavone's in the ring to interview the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, about AEW World Championship, Kenny Omega, and so before this,
how do you feel about his theme song now?
It's just all right. I prefer the other one, but I do know Tony Khan was saying he couldn't afford it, so I'm cool with it.
I just feel like it's still weird. It felt like a Daniel Bryan trap remix.
It do. That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, man, they can use the song because they were asking for like $50,000 every time the song was played. Like, are you serious? Like, no, it's not. No, bro, stop.
I mean, I would have just bought the other song, Flight of the Valkyries.
I think that's the one that they were saying that he couldn't. Because
the song that he wanted was Final Countdown.
Oh, Final Countdown. That's right.
That's it. That was his song that he used to use.
Yeah, well, no, he can't do that. It was an Aerosmith that was drawn like that. Like, yeah, no. Before Bryan Danielson can get a word out, Don Callis interrupts him, and him and Kenny Omega walk out. He says, "What kind of sanctimonious son of a bitch are you are? What a difficult decision it must be for you to join AEW. This company was built on the back of Kenny Omega, and because you want to help the industry, and people call me a corny SOB. Kenny told me he knows how you think, and that you really believe this. So that makes you a mark like the rest of these people." Shut up, Don. Someday it will be about the world title. But that's not what Bryan Danielson came over here for. He came over here to fight the best. Remember, this man was in the WrestleMania main event just this year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he said it's about good professional wrestling. And all I've seen is guys who hang out with a bunch of stooges and lets guys talk for him. He said, but you know what? I heard that Kenny Omega was the best, and he wants the best. And he says, but I heard rumors that maybe you've lost your confidence or that you lost a step. I don't think that's true. I just think that you lost your balls. So what you say, yes or no? And Kenny Omega says, yes, we're going to have a match. They had to stare down, and that's going to be on the Grand Slam next week. Main event time, Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley versus 2.0. I was like, why is this the main event? Out of anything else we could have did, I never understood why this was the main event, but sure. It's a simple tag team matchup with 2.0. I'm not a big fan of 2.0 at all. So Kingston and Moxley hit Jeff Parker with a combination exploder, suplex lariat as they get hype with each other. Then Suzuki's music hits, and he was humiliated last week when none of his music was played. I like how they turned it into a storyline because he was cut for time.
That was a big thing on Twitter, like a huge thing on Twitter.
Yeah, but I like how they turned it into a storyline instead of trying to make up some dumb excuse about it, saying like how WWE would. He felt completely disrespected in Cincinnati, and he said he was entering to face Moxley. And I suppose it comes up and says, Moxley and Suzuki fought on top. They fought, traded lesser rights. And that it will be. Was the next on Rampage is going to be that lights out matchup, so I can't wait to check that thing out. And that was AEW Dynamite for this week. So, in your personal opinion, who wins it, Dynamite or NXT 2.0 for this week?
I think for me, Dynamite slightly edges it out because the only thing I cared about NXT was the wedding.
I have to agree with you on that one too. The wedding was the best thing on NXT 2.0, but we got too much Andre Chase and not giving a fuck who this person was.
Did you say
Andre Chase? But AEW, we got more of a build going up into the Grand Slam next week, so I thought that was the better of everything. Alright, guys, so if you guys like the Wednesday Night War, obviously you guys can like and subscribe. You listen to us on YouTube. But if not, we are going to move on with the rest of the podcast here.